The biggest difference really between an online auction and an on-site auction is the privacy and convenience for both buyers and sellers, as you can bid or watch the auction from anywhere in the world with the internet connection. So rather than having to stand out in the street in full public view, you can bid from the privacy of your lounge, dining room or your office. Hi, I'm Simon Pilcher from Pilcher Residential, probably what you'd call a veteran of the industry with over 1,000 sales, including 500 on-site auctions, and now leading the field on online auctions in Sydney's inner west. To prepare for an online auction, it's really similar to preparing for any other property auction. Our purchasers are advised to get the contract reviewed by their solicitor or conveyancer, do the diligence, looking through a pest and building report or strata report, have their finances ready, and also make sure they've allocated some time for the auction, particularly for the last 15-20 minutes, and make sure they've got a sound internet connection. The bidding process is very straightforward when the auction is underway, very similar to an in-rooms or an on-site, you're just doing it digitally instead. But the big mistake that a lot of buyers make is holding back from bidding because someone's bidding aggressively against them and they think they're just going to keep on going, which is not always the case. There are a few tips that I can give bidders that can help them be successful at online auctions. Tip number 1, it's not a bad idea to put in your first bid half an hour to an hour before the end of the auction. That way you know the system's working and you're not putting yourself under the stress of having to put in that first bid towards the end. Tip number 2, touch base with the auctioneer, that's me in this instance, sometime during the auction process. That way you can test that the chat function is working, so you know you can get quick answers to any questions you have during the auction. Third tip, and one of the most important, is make sure you've got your partner or any other stakeholders involved in the purchase process connected on a Zoom or FaceTime call during the auction if they can't be there with you. Tip number 4 on winning the auction, sometimes those big bold bids at the end can actually knock out the competition. And last tip, even though there's a 3-minute window of opportunity between the last bid and the hammer falling, it's not a good idea to wait until the last seconds because sometimes that clock ticks just a little bit faster than you thought it was going to. So don't leave it till the last second.